What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel, guys. Here back with Jovies home. I feel like this video was recommended to me a month or so ago as well, but it came back up, especially with the video that I just did about the lies Americans told me about Germany, and this one came up. So I was like, you know what, time to check it out. Why not? I feel like it's in a certain timing and subject matter. So we finna check this out. Y'all hit that subscribe button, send down those recommendations, and let's see the 6 lies America told me. This is in the Netherlands, though. We in the Netherlands today, so let's check it out.
Hi, welcome to Jovies Home. I post new videos every Tuesday and sometimes Thursdays. Today, I am sharing with you 6 lies that America told me. All right, sorry, that was a little bit clickbait. The real thing that we're talking about today is 6 myths or false beliefs that I had coming from America into Europe, and things that I really believed were true because America told me and they were actually not true. So if that sounds good to you, why don't you come on in, kick off your shoes and stay a while. I'm really glad you're here.
Okay, but like it's the same difference, myth,
So
lie.
let's start out with the Dutch word of the day, and I think that it's very fitting that we have the Dutch word of the day be what the word for United States, and that is Verenigde Staten. Verenigde Staten. You guys know I have to do a little disclaimer because about maybe a little bit over a year ago, I posted a video talking about why I would never move back to the United States. And that video is my #2 best performing video of all time. However, that video has an unbelievable amount of hate comments coming from people in the States that strongly disagree with the things that I said in that video. Now, I do acknowledge that that video wasn't maybe my best because I just turned on the camera when I was angry and I just ranted. But now I've really collected my thoughts, and these are 7 points that specifically if you're watching in America, I hope that you can just listen and understand and be open-minded about the things that I'm saying. And I'm not saying them to bash on America because I hate America. It's actually quite the opposite. Like, if I hated America, I would give no attention to it. I would give no time on my channel to it. I would not give it any space on my platform. But because I actually really want to see it improve because I care about it is the reason that I make these videos. Just like with my own children, when they're doing something wrong, sometimes you have to point out the things that are wrong so that they can learn and do it right next time. You know what I mean? That's
And I definitely agree with her. I'm not like, I watch these different videos not to like just bash on America, even though I still like there be some people in the comments just going in, just bashing, going in, and all that stuff. But it's like I'm watching these videos to learn and being open minded to know, because I already feel like we were just already told some stuff and we wasn't told everything, all the truth, so. And learning about other different countries and stuff like that, like you want to be open-minded and not closed-minded to the fact that, hey, only seen this place, this is the only place, and it's the best type thing, because my plan is to travel. I don't want to travel and be fearful. Like, what fun is it in being fearful when you want to see the world? Like, there shouldn't be no fear in that, and shoot, some of y'all there be some like I received some hate and some people just being like, just jerks or whatever, but it's like, dang, I definitely don't want to meet y'all, but it's like, shoot, like you want to receive more love than hate, but it's like, dang, you still got to be careful with the hate that you receive, because like people can hate you for no reason. People can hate you for just giving an opinion. But she's definitely right. We're not bashing America. We want to see it improve. We want to see some things change for the better, because like I love the Europe concept of everything, when it comes to transportation, healthcare, everything, family life. I think I watched a video about hers about raising kids in the Netherlands. Like those are important things that we could adopt so we can make our country better, So It's no hate. It's all love. Like she said, you can't correct. You gotta be able to get that correction so you can fix some things. I said in another video, you can't heal what you don't reveal. You gotta reveal some things so we can heal some things.
That's where my heart is. We're gonna stop with the disclaimers, but that's my stand. Okay? Let's do this. Number 1, the approach to poverty and disability. And I felt, or it was my impression, again, in the United States, that poverty needs to be not seen, So what they would do, or what is done in a lot of cities, is you have districts or areas, the projects or whatever, where you have social or low income housing, and they're kind of lumped in one area. And then you have everyone else that is not on social housing or benefits living in another area. This kind of division or divide creates two very different Americas. The glam, rich America that some people see, and then the very, very impoverished, awful America that is the reality for so many millions of people.
In which we call the more poverty side the hood. That's what we call it, the hood. And who wants to go to the hood? Nobody. But who was raised there,
That is the reality for so many millions of people. In Europe,
well, at least
it's not
grew up,
like
wasn't
that.
raised
In
mostly
Europe,
there.
You have
I'm familiar
all
with it.
the social housing intermixed with regular housing. And I think that for me, it was a big wake-up call to see how that looks and how it actually functions. And you don't have these like ultra super rich, like gated neighborhoods the way that you do in the States, because you don't need to keep anyone out because you're sharing a neighborhood with them. Like everybody cares about the neighborhoods because they're all living there together. It was a real mind shift for me when I was told that there's also, low income housing the one street over, or, on my same street as, the very fancy international organization that I was working at, and where I was living in that very, very posh neighborhood. And at first, no lie, I did not like it because I was afraid, because I had come in with this mentality that anyone who's poor is going to want to rob me or steal my bike, and that's just not the case. Because I didn't live among poorer people, and because I didn't have experiences and interactions with them on a regular basis, I had all of these judgments or preconceived notions about them in my mind that were wrong, that were absolutely wrong. And now, by living in the European or the Dutch way, whatever you want to call it, I see it very, very different.
That's a good thing. Environment definitely matters. Like I was mentioning, we call it those low income housing hood. We call it the hood. I didn't primarily just grew up raised and all that. But by the time I got to middle school, my mom, was able to put us in better neighborhoods and stuff like that. But growing up, we wasn't always in the best neighborhoods, so, but she definitely has a point. But like I said, that's what we call the hood. And to be honest, most of them are my color, So it was one of those things we didn't see no other. It was probably some Hispanic maybe. That's about it. But they start gradually coming a little bit more, but they're just brown in those lower economics type of households and stuff. And this is just from my experience. This is me growing up. This is not from the whole United States, I'm just telling you what I've seen. This is from my perspective, So I could give some insight on that just from my perspective.
You want to call it, I see it very, very different. Number 2, government funded or government organized healthcare is not awful. It isn't. It isn't awful. In my experiences with healthcare in Europe have actually been better than in the United States. When we talk about healthcare in Europe, there is something that really, really stands out to me in my memory. This is an old clip, but this was something that really had an effect on me at the time. And that was Rick Santorum talking about the Netherlands and these death panels that, you know, under the healthcare system of the Netherlands, and because euthanasia is legal here, that basically once you're of a certain age, you just get... It's not true. This shit does not happen here. Okay? Like, it is not true. You don't become a burden to the healthcare just because you're older.
Right.
And in fact, I would argue that because Europeans have more access to regular health, like regular checkups and doctor visits and things, because we have insurance that is affordable or free, depending on which European country you live in, you're going to be able to treat and diagnose things earlier before they become a real problem and you end up in the emergency room. So, you know, that whole thing of like, ooh, the healthcare really sucks if you are living, like if it's government regulated or government funded. It's a lie. Wow. It is a lie. It is not true. That is not reality. Okay, that is not reality. 3, working without rest or without holidays does not mean that you're working hard. I know that I definitely had some PTSD, I guess I would say, about working. When I first moved to the Netherlands from the States, I really had a lot of issues with taking a sick day or, you know, like going on holiday for more than a couple of days at a time. Like actually, let's say going for 2 weeks in the summer and not feeling guilty about that. In America, we're really taught to believe that, you know, you are a good worker or you are a hard worker if you are coming to the office early, if you're leaving the office late, if you don't take a sick day.
Hey, that's a fact, because they used to always say, like, always tell us get there 15 minutes early. Which, you know, that's not a problem. Get there 15. But it was one of those things to where they just expect you to be there early or on time every day, like consecutive, like every day, all day. I'm like, all right, because at the point you do, as time goes on, you're gonna get tired. You're gonna be drained a little, and it got to a point I was like, all right, y'all want me here every day or want me here on time? Which one you want? Because on time, I can be here on time out of the week at least 2, 3, maybe 4 times. You want me here on time 2 or 3 days. I can work 2 or 3 days this week. But if you want me here every day, I can be here, but it may not be on time every day, depending on, because, you know, we got work life, we got family life, we got all these things. And when you get to work, they not thinking of anything else outside of work for you. They could care less, to be honest, sometimes depending on where you work.
You're leaving the office late. If you don't take a sick day, never, you know. So yeah, feel free. Come into your workplace with your slimy nose and your infectious cough. Make everybody else sick. We'll all be here sick together. And that's going to be an efficient and effective workforce. Like, come on. Like, I really, really struggled with these thoughts. You know, as I mentioned, taking holidays was like something that I really had to adjust to, and feel like I'm not letting down my employer because I'm actually making use of my rights. So that was definitely a big thing for me. So Americans, like, I really hope that you understand that you are not a shitty employee if you take a day off. This brings us to point number 4. Capitalism and consumerism are not the most worthy of ideals. When I lived in the States, my absolute favorite pastime was shopping. I loved going shopping for clothes, for, you know, makeup, whatever, shoes. Oh, I love shopping for shoes and bags and things. And I was doing it all the time. Like, anytime a friend wanted to go hang out, like, oh yeah, let's go walk around the mall. Let's go shop a little bit. You know, it was always about getting more stuff, more new stuff, like showing off that stuff. And if you look, I mean, now how much things have changed. If you look through the videos on my channel, you'll see that I think I bought new clothes like once in the 2 years that I've had my channel. So I'm re-wearing the same clothes that I've been wearing for ages. And I'm going to until I don't, fit them or until I need something new. But this whole aspect of like consumerism and buy stuff, it loops into that. Like you have to keep working so you can keep buying, so you can keep working, so you can keep buying. And
That's a fact.
They trick you into...
And then you realize that because you have more, you spend it more, and now you basically living paycheck to paycheck now. Because even if you're making a good amount of money, you spending a good amount of money just because you can buy some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So now, technically, you living paycheck to paycheck now. I know usually the term when people say you live paycheck to paycheck, it's usually for people that don't make a lot and all their money basically just go towards their bills. But there are some people that's out here that have great job, great money, and they're still living paycheck to paycheck. Why? You make more, you got more money to spend. You can spend more. You can spend more. I'm guilty of it too. You know what I'm saying? Be like, oh, I got this amount of. All of a sudden, I need some stuff or want some stuff. You know, it's like when you got a little bit more money left on the check, all of a sudden you just need certain stuff. You know, then all of a sudden you look at your account, you ain't got that much left type thing. She's speaking facts.
Like not being able to be like, oh, let me work a little bit. Let me go on a vacation because I'm going to pay for that. And then like, I'm just going to, not necessarily buy all
just
new
chill.
clothes
Let me
all the
stack it
time.
up.
So there's these like fallacies and these like things that are just not logical or they're not right, Consumerism and capitalism play a huge role in that. More money does not equal more happiness.
At all.
That is also something that it took me a while to learn here. Now, I'm not saying that like if you don't have money to buy food, that more money would not lead to more happiness, or if you don't have the money to pay for your, heating in the middle of winter, that having more money would not increase your happiness. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in a middle class society or like a middle class frame of reference, let's just say, suddenly becoming a millionaire is not necessarily going to make you happier.
That's true.
If you're able to meet your basic needs and then maybe do a little bit of like extras on the side, having all this like piles and piles of money is not going to increase your happiness exponentially. And I think that Europeans know that. Like Europeans seem to get that. And so their goal is not necessarily always to just have more money. I think that consumerism really gives you an unrealistic expectation of what life should be or could be. And maybe we have the media to thank for that, but definitely just having more stuff and buying more stuff actually does not lead to more.
That's fact, because people do be capping on the gram and stuff. On Instagram, you see people will either get in front of somebody else's car, rent out stuff just to take pictures to make them think they live in luxury life. And now somebody else looking at them like, ooh, I want that. And now they're spending, blowing all their money on stuff that they didn't see people that don't really have it, Pictures say 1,000 words. Well, I don't even know how the saying goes, but pictures speaks a lot, But there's a lot of people that's not living what those pictures are speaking. But she is right, though. We can see a picture on Instagram and be like, oh, I want that. And we think this person got all this stuff. And they really don't,
Buying more stuff actually does not lead to more happiness.
At all.
5. Freedom is a word that we really like to use in the United States.
Freedom is not free.
But it's actually not something that a lot of people truly have. This is subjective. I understand that your definition of freedom might be different than my definition of freedom, and therefore we might have a difference of opinion on this subject. But for me, freedom means the following. Freedom from stress or fear that if I get sick, I might be forced into bankruptcy or lose my home due to a medical debt. That is something that really weighs heavy on me because getting sick is not something that you can control. And if that happens...
Or injured.
Wow. Like, what choices do you have? And that's just... I don't think that anyone is going to disagree with me on that you should not have to live in fear of losing your home or your life because you got sick. Freedom also from crushing student debt admire like Europeans who, you know, seem to have figured out that we should make education, higher education, accessible to everyone, and not get people into crushing lifelong debt. And I'm not saying that there's no student loans or things here in the Netherlands, because there also is. You can also take out loans if you need study, like financing to go to school. But we're not talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know. That's definitely not the amount that we're talking about. And I also feel like another big freedom for me is the freedom to feel safe. And I did not always feel safe in the States. I'm nervous about guns, and you might say, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Yeah, but people have a lot of guns.
A whole lot.
A lot of people have a lot of guns in the United States, and I am afraid of those people because I don't know them, and I don't know, they're unpredictable, and I don't feel safe knowing that I could be on a street walking around and there could be, everybody that I see could have guns, and there could be shit going on at any moment. Like, that is not safe for
at
me.
all. It's like people just walking around looking for a reason to shoot somebody. It's crazy.
At any moment, like, that is not safe for me. Students, like children going to school, having to wear bulletproof backpacks, that is not freedom
at all
for me. That is not
like a war zone.
No, it's not. Yeah, so that some guy can have freedom to have as many guns as he wants. Now all these children have to wear bulletproof backpacks to school. Like, how is that freedom? That's definitely not freedom under my current definition. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about all of these things. So socialism and social democracy are two different things. The Netherlands specifically is not socialist. It is a social democracy. These two things are different. And if you don't know the difference, please educate yourself.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Calling Europe socialist is wrong and is not the case. That's it. That's my rant. These are the 6 myths or lies that I was told, that I now see the error in them, and don't believe them anymore. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks so much for coming over today. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments below. I'm very, very curious what kind of discussion will be sparked by this video. Thank you guys so much for coming over. Thanks for spending some time with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please click subscribe. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. You can make that happen. And yeah, I really appreciate you watching to this part. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Nice. If I was my kids, lives would be different in the U.S. versus. Oh, need to check that one out too. Definitely. She was speaking facts on here. She was definitely speaking facts. As mentioned before, earlier in the video, like I said about like the house, with the poverty, low income housing and stuff like that. She was speaking facts. You know, I grew up seeing that. You know, grew up being a part of that for a certain amount of time in my life, and I can say now, when I go back to like those old neighborhoods, it's different because like the house economy is growing so much. Like they're putting houses everywhere, and they're basically almost knocking down like houses. These older houses that were usually in those type of neighborhoods, they're knocking them down, rebuilding houses, or they're building nicer houses by these houses, and like it's totally different now. I can say that now, but 10, 15 years ago, it was not. It was not. About between 10, 15 years ago, it was not. But because the economy is booming when it comes to, you know, houses and stuff like that, real estate and all those things, they're getting away with these things, you know. And that's because why? Y'all already know the money. You know, you can put a house. Like the price I paid for my house, we stay by one of the top engineering companies, and most people are in and out. We in a neighborhood where, you know, usually some of those workers are around here, or people work in that top, like that big engineering company. But the price I paid for my house, where I grew up, where I used to, back what we call the hood, they got new houses over there. And guess how much they are? Around the same price as these houses that's in a better neighborhood. So you get what I'm saying? So you kind of see there and how, like, just because the housing market is booming, now everybody trying to profit. They don't care where part of town it's in. It's just everything is it's about money. It's expensive, which don't make sense to me because I'm like, wait, I grew up on this side of town. I know how much these houses worth on this side of town, and now they got houses that's like as much as a house over here on the good side of town. It's crazy to me. But hey, y'all know what I say with that cream. Cash rules everything. Cash rules everything around when it comes here. But that's all I have for this video, guys. Like I said, she was speaking facts. Definitely agree. But y'all hit that subscribe button, send down those recommendations, and y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.